Hi, it's Beth and Paul with Our Magic Adventures.
Today we are here at Epcot and we are here to answer the question, should you visit Epcot?
Well, we're going to go around and show you the layout, show you where things are located, attractions, restaurants, etc. And then you can make the decision whether or not you want to come to Epcot. But we're going to think you will. So why don't you come join us?
Here we go!
So today we're going to help answer the question, should I go to Epcot or should we go to Epcot? I hear a lot of times people saying, is it worth going to Epcot? I have small children. Yes, well, we think so, but you can decide from what you see today. Epcot was opened in 1982. They just celebrated its 40th anniversary. Epcot was first devised by Walt Disney because he wanted to have kind of a controlled urban city based on technology, and he had it all laid out, and then he passed away and it got put on the back burner. But now it's the second largest park in Disney World. Right behind me is Spaceship Earth. This is kind of the identity for Epcot. There's a ride in there, so it's really cool too. It's like going into the past and seeing what's available for the future. But what I want to explain to you is this is the center part of Epcot, and this is called World Celebration. Right now they're working on the middle part, but to this way, to your left, is World Discovery, and to the right is World Nature. So we're going to go through each section and show you what's available, and you can make your decision, is Epcot for you? Okay, so we're here at Spaceship Earth and we're going to its right but our left when we walk in. And we're walking through the World Celebration area. And this is the way we're going to go to World Discovery, which is on the back side of the building you see in front of you. Here's Guest Relations. It is in World Celebration on the other side of Spaceship Earth. That building that you see to your left, that is Connections Cafe. You can mobile order, you can go in and order, and even have Starbucks. Lots of good food in there, actually. Good place to sit down, relax. Thing is, you have to buy something to sit down. You can't just go sit down in there. And that's fair because people need to sit down when they eat.
We are here at the entrance to World Celebration, or the World Celebration area. And over here is the Creation Shop, which you can see. That is the large gift shop that is at Epcot. And you can pretty much get anything that you want at that shop. So housewares, merchandise related to a festival, all kinds of stuff. That's Epcot. So we're going to take just a really quick walk in here and you can see what this is like. There are all kinds of clothing items in here, shirts, jackets, shoes. They have a toy section in the back. This merchandise is basically related to whatever kind of celebration is going on at the time. Right now, the Disney 100, but that changes. Also in this little vestibule area is a place called Club Cool. In here, you can sample Coca-Cola products from around the world. They have all different flavors, and you can taste those different products. You can blend them together if you want. Some of them are really good, in my opinion, and others not so much. But it does give you a chance to try the different products.
So we're walking in between Connections Cafe and Creations and Club Cool. And we are entering World Discovery. World Discovery has 3 rides: Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Space, and Test Track. You can get Genie Plus for Test Track and Mission Space. But for Guardians, you can either get individual Lightning Lane, which you pay per ride basically, or you get into the virtual queue. It's kind of warm today, and it's nice to see these sprinklers are running, these misters I should call them. So here's the newest ride here to Epcot, Guardians of the Galaxy. Such a cool ride. If you can get in on the virtual queue, do it. Try. Some people get motion sickness on this ride. I am prone to motion sickness, so I amped it up to make sure I wouldn't get sick. And I was good. It's really quite a fun ride. There's a gift shop over to the other side. But you know Marvel, they make it fun. Just so you know, it is a fast ride and it is a dark ride. So, you know, it's one of the fastest rides on Walt Disney World property. So take that into consideration. Read up on it, look at some videos. We have one actually, and we'll post the link down in this video. Right next to Guardians of the Galaxy is Mission Space. And Mission Space actually has 2 different levels. So if you are one that's not prone to motion sickness, this could be a ride for you. So this is the front. They have some information on this board. It's only a 5-minute wait time for green, 20 for orange. Wow. I think the outside is just awesome the way it looks. Space, green is Earth, and Mars is orange. And those are the height requirements. And also, just to let you know, they do give you a bag in the ride, should you need it. Over here, you see a sign for Space 220. It's one of the newest restaurants. You do need reservations to get in, but as I would recommend anything, you should take a look at and see if they'll take in walk-ins. And we've been to many restaurants that let us come in on a walk-in and not a reservation. So it's on the other side of the Mars side of Mission Space. That's how you get in. And then from there, you go into space to the restaurant. We're leaving the Mission Space 220 area. Did you hear that? That's not thunder. That's Test Track. Yeah, that's the fastest ride in Walt Disney World. Up to speeds of 65 miles an hour. This has a lightning lane and a single rider. And of course, standby. The wait time, we checked it on our app, is about 85 minutes. You go in there, you design your vehicle, and then you get to race your vehicle. I'm doing air quotes. It's really fun. It's really fast. Okay, I want to give you a reference. That way is Guardians of the Galaxy and World of Discovery. This is Connections Eatery. It's in World Celebration. Club Cool's on the other side of that fence, like wall. And now we're walking on the side here in World Celebration. They have some bathrooms coming up here. So, you know, you need to know where those are. So you can see some signage that says Creations Club Cool that goes back that way. There's Spaceship Earth. The middle part of World Celebration is under construction, and they are building new features in there. So can't go through there, but we're going to show you another part of World Celebration.
So what you can see behind me, there's some signage for the Festival of the Arts. Now, there are 4 festivals at Epcot. They all start with the word international, and I don't feel like saying international 4 times. So, Festival of the Arts is the first one of the year. Then there's the Flower and Garden Show. The food and wine, and then Festival of the Holidays. So those 4 festivals are here at Epcot, and they run throughout the year. You're going to see a lot more about that as we go in, but as you're wondering, should I visit Epcot? Think about these festivals as you're making your decision.
So here's the Imagination Pavilion, the glass structure with the mirrored tiles. That actually is the DVC lounge. So if you belong to DVC, you have a lounge you can go to in there. The ride, Journey into Imagination with Figment. That's a question. Should you or should you not go on that ride? I think you should. You know, it's old school, so you should do it. You should do it. And it's Figment, so you know. But that is over to the right of the pavilion. It has Lightning Lane or Standby. Then over this way you can go to a short film festival, and they have about 3 films that they show. And also there's a place in there where you can meet characters. I know Mickey meets in there. And then this is what they call the upside down fountain, because it's coming from the bottom going up. And then beyond that is an area where they have jumping fountains. So if you've ever seen those fountains that jump, you might have just see that over there in the distance on the left. It's jumping around. So that's a nice area to relax. You get something to eat and bring it up there and relax. This is outside of the Imagination Pavilion. It's a popcorn stand. What I want to tell you is, you buy a bucket of popcorn. You buy the bucket, comes with popcorn. It's $13. But then every time you want a refill, it's $2.25. So you bring your bucket and they'll refill it for you for $2.25, which is a really good deal. They'll also fill it for the maple popcorn in Canada, which is yummy.
Okay, so behind me is Spaceship Earth. We are now going to walk into World Nature, which is off this way. So basically, when you come in, you see Spaceship Earth, walk to your right, and then that's going to put you inside World Nature. So let's go check this out. So we are now walking down the pathway, like I said, on the right side of Spaceship Earth. The first thing you're going to see when you come in this area is a sit-down restaurant called the Coral Reef. This restaurant is unique in that it backs up to an aquarium, and you can actually see the aquarium from inside the restaurant while you're eating. So you need to make reservations for this restaurant if you would like to check it out. Continuing on the walkway, we're going to go off to our right, and there we're going to find Turtle Talk with Crush and the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Both are attractions. Now, Nemo and Friends, once that ride lets out, it lets out into a very, very large aquarium. So if you are into aquariums, this is probably not a well-known thing about Epcot, but there is a very large one here, and we'll show you some of that. So the Seas with Nemo and Friends is a dark ride. We have a POV of this ride if you'd like to check that out. I'll put the link in the description below. Now we're going to head into this aquarium. This is the gift shop. When you leave the Nemo ride, you come through this area. Obviously has a lot of Nemo stuff in it.
There's also a fuel rod charger in here. You get fuel rods while you're here, which is a great item to have to charge your phones, your batteries for your cameras, etc.
So this is the second largest aquarium in the United States. The largest is in Georgia. If you are into aquariums, this is definitely a place to check out. This is very nicely kept, very well done in here. And in your decision of should you visit Epcot or not, if this is something you're into, you definitely want to check this out. So inside this aquarium, there's an attraction called Turtle Talk with Crush. This is an interactive attraction. This is great for kids. And if you liked Crush, in the Nemo movies, you will love this attraction.
Like Paul said, this is the second largest aquarium. Actually, Spaceship Earth can fit inside this aquarium. That's how big it is. It's 57 million gallons. That's pretty big. Let's go here and look at this side of the aquarium. By the way, down here they have restrooms and there are elevators. It's not all stairs, there are escalators and elevators. We're walking now down this bridge and it goes to another section. I'm sure it's all one big aquarium, but for us it's a different section. And here we have signs that say there are sharks in here. Oh, hi. It's a long snout on that shark.
Oh, look at the hidden Mickey.
So now we are leaving the seas and heading toward the land. And there's quite a bit in the land as well. There was a bunch in this last pavilion, but there's quite a bit up here. If you have a stroller and you're curious about where to park it, this area here might give you some indication of where that is. It's actually between the seas and the land, and there's a sea of strollers. This is the land. This is the entrance to the land. If you can see all of that. It's got this very cool water feature here in front, and we're going to take you inside, show you all the attractions and places to eat. So we're here inside the land pavilion. There are 5 things to do in here. There are 2 restaurants, one behind me which is called the Garden Grill, and then one below me which is a quick serve restaurant, and it has quite a variety of food. So if you're looking for something besides just, kind of hamburgers and hot dogs, that's a great place to go. That's right below me on the first floor. And there are 3 attractions in here. One is called Awesome Planet. That's a movie, which is an awesome movie. There's another ride called Soarin', which you just kind of have to experience for yourself, but it's very cool. And then the last one is an Epcot classic, Living with the Land, that teaches you a lot about agriculture, so you'll learn something if you go on that ride. So we'll take you through some of this stuff. All right, so this is the entrance to the Awesome Planet movie. Would definitely recommend this. Again, a place to kind of get out of the heat, but it's a good movie, well worth watching. So this is the Garden Grill restaurant. There are 3 cool things about this restaurant that I'll tell you. One is that this is an all-you-care-to-enjoy restaurant. As of now, these are the prices and you can kind of see what they have. 2, the restaurant turns. So if you like spinning restaurants, it doesn't spin real fast, but if you kind of like that concept, this is a very cool thing to see. And then they have character dining as well, so you might want to check this out.
Okay, so if you want to go to Soaring, you have to go downstairs from when you enter the pavilion. And this is the beginning of the queue. So you can use Lightning Lane or standby. 60 minutes right now, so we're not going on it. But it's a really good ride. It's soaring around the world. By the way, there are 11 rides in Epcot. So that's more rides than there are in Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios. So if you're thinking, should I go to Epcot? Yeah, there are a lot of rides here. And of the 11, 10 have Lightning Lane. So, well, I guess you don't call Guardians of the Galaxy Lightning Lane. That's a virtual queue. So 9 have Lightning Lane. The only ride that does not have Lightning Lane is the Grand Fiesta with the 3 Caballeros. So that pretty much tells you all the others do have Lightning Lane. Okay, so this is the queue for Living with the Land boat ride. It's right now a 25-minute wait for standby. This is the quick serve option inside of the Land Pavilion. It's called Sunshine Seasons. And a lot of big variety here. This one station right here, they have salmon and rotisserie chicken. And then they have these grab and go areas. This one's called the Kids Zone because it has Lunchables and things like that. Soup and salad, more grab and goes, beverages. They have Asian noodles, they have roast beef sandwich, and then they have desserts. So pretty much whatever you can think, not whatever, but you know, there are a lot of options here of which you can get.
We are walking down what I call the promenade. Not sure if there's another name for it, but that's what I call it. We're going to walk under this monorail, and then this takes us to the entrance to World Showcase, which is our fourth and final world here at Epcot. Now, that is where all the countries are. There are 11 of them, and it is by far the largest world here at Epcot. It takes quite a while to walk around it. It is over a mile, and there is a lot to see and do there. So we're just going to continue down this promenade toward the entrance to World Showcase, which is called Port of Entry. Again, you'll see the Festival of the Arts sign. There are 4 festivals here, as I mentioned earlier. And right now we're in Festival of the Arts. Off to the right, when you come to World Showcase, you start in Canada, and if you go to the left, you start in Mexico. There's certainly a debate over which is the best way or right way to start. I personally don't have one. But this is heading toward Canada. And if we head this other direction, this heads toward Mexico. Now, around World Showcase, you'll notice a lot of booths. Because it's Festival of the Arts, there are a lot of booths for artists. And there are always booths for food, no matter what the festival is. We're not really going to explore those because they change all the time with the different festivals for whatever the theme is of the festival. But just know, if you're thinking about making a trip to Epcot, there is plenty of food here, and there is by far the largest variety of any other park. And the festivals contribute to that because it changes all the time. And there's a lot of variety at the different booths. Just giving you a little bit more information here. This is World Showcase Lagoon, and at night they have a very large show out here. Lights, fireworks, fountains, all kinds of stuff. And these barges are part of that. There's screens on the barges. There's a projection that takes place at that circular thing in the middle. So there's quite a bit to see in this show. It's called Harmonious. It is going away. It's going to be replaced by another show. Personally, I think it's a fabulous show and definitely worth watching. And that's every night here at Epcot. Well, guys, I think we have had enough for one day. We are walking through the Connections Eatery and heading toward the front of the park to head home. Thought we might be able to handle this all in one day, but this park is so big that this is going to end up being a 2-part video. So we're getting ready to wrap up part 1 here with a little stroll through Connections. All kinds of food in here, and the pizza smells pretty good, but they got more than pizza. Hamburgers, salad, dessert, beer, And of course, Starbucks just right over here on the other side. So should you visit Epcot? Well, that concludes part 1 of our video, where we tried to give you enough information to make that decision.
There's so much to see. We saw 3 worlds today: World Discovery, World Celebration, and World Nature. And we didn't even get to World Showcase, so that's going to be in part 2. By the way, we have POVs of the rides here in these 3 worlds, and we're going to link them below so that you can check those out.
So, why don't you join us on our next magic adventure? Bye.
Bye. Hi, it's Beth and Paul, and we're here.
That was so bad. Question, should you visit Epcot?
We're gonna run out of time just on this. Okay, ready? One more time. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. By the way, a lot of the rides here we've done POVs for, and we'll link them below in this. In this what? By the way.
No.